My name is Paul Wallace. I'm owner of Supercars of London, YouTuber, internet vlogger, and overall car nut. My journey started in central London, of course, taking pictures of Aston Martins through South Kensington, things like that. And then I decided that I was going to film it, show my friends, stick it on YouTube, and started to pick up 10, 15, 20 views. From there I saw that there was more people than my friends watching it. So I decided that I was going to continue to film, get better, film better cars, more exclusive rare cars, and just see where it went from there. And it's just completely taken off more than I could ever imagine. My love of cars has come from Formula One from the age of 9 or 10, I think, and loving Ferrari as a Formula One team, and then seeing their road cars on the road was a real sort of sense of adrenaline for me. And then once I realised that there was another brand, Lamborghini, that the doors went up and it was just a crazy, crazy car. That's where my love of cars has come from. I don't know where my passion for photography or videography has come from. I think it's purely, I wanted a memory of seeing that particular car. But then when the cameras started to appear on mobile phones, that's where I wanted to create a real sort of image memory that I could look back on. I sort of landed on my feet with the supercar spotting. I went up to central London with my father for GCSE art project, went to a couple of museums in South Kensington, came across a couple of Aston Martins and maybe a Ferrari, realised that cars actually exist and drive on the road, and went back up there the next week with a friend, walked past a Lamborghini dealership by complete accident, and then stuck to that area, and that was how I sort of determined that that was the area to see supercars in. There was no videos on YouTube, there was no pictures on the internet, it was purely by chance that I fell into Knightsbridge and Harrods and Mayfair and the places in central London that you see supercars now. I mean, obviously my family are supportive of what I do. They don't understand to the extent of what I do, how I earn money, or what I do on a daily basis. They think that I'm just on one big jolly at the moment, which is partly true, because it's something that I enjoy. So it doesn't really class as a job when you're doing something that you enjoy and you're passionate about, because you always want to develop, you always want to grow, and you always want to innovate. So I've always had that passion of business, and learning about business and putting it together with my passion is just a recipe for success and also for enjoyment in terms of what you do in a job. The growth of my YouTube channel happened through a couple of viral videos. Most people will know The Dumbest Rich Man, when a Lamborghini got rained on quite heavily for 30 seconds. Then when that video started to gain traction, I realised that there could be potential to earn some decent money out of YouTube, not enough to sustain a career or anything like that, but it was the collaboration between my business degree at university and my YouTube channel and understanding the way that the internet was going that I really became sort of quite switched on that this could potentially be a career for me. To begin with, when I was just pointing a camera and the subject was always the car. I was never on camera. I've always been quite nervous around cameras at family dues. Cameras have never been, no photos of me and my birthday cake and things like that. But it was when I turned the camera upon myself on around 40,000 subscribers that, one, I was very nervous about, because there was 40,000 people that followed Supercars of London for the cars. And all of a sudden I'd turn the subject on myself and going to buy my first supercar. But the response was absolutely fantastic. I couldn't believe the support, and I was really overwhelmed by the amount of people that loved and engaged with what I was producing. And that was when I realised that there was a real scope for continuing to vlog, continuing to bring people in on my journey and my adventures of buying my first supercar and then owning my first supercar. So last year, April 2014, I was able to buy my first supercar. It was a 2008 Audi R8 V8, and I'd done a whole YouTube series that allowed people into my journey of buying my first supercar, something that hasn't been done before and definitely not been documented as heavily as I did it. And I had access to a fantastic array of supercars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, Nissan GTRs, R8s and things like that. And I tested them from the passenger seat because I was not old enough to drive them. I had no insurance to drive them. So it was a really difficult time for me to learn about the cars without actually driving them. But it came down to the GTR, the C63 and the R8. And I think overall the R8 is more timeless, it looks better, it's more jaw-dropping, and it definitely turns heads. And is also 2 seats, so it sort of defined what a supercar was in my head. And I've absolutely loved it ever since. So the car is a 2008 4.2 litre V8, a silver metallic underneath, it's got carbon side blades, it's got carbon interior, and the car has since had some really nice 20-inch Project wheels fitted to the car in gloss black. And then of course I've got the Armitrix Valvetronic exhaust so I can change between loud and quiet. Overall, it's a really nice package and sort of, it definitely looks great. The one downside is I never actually get to see it on the road because I'm the one driving it, and being a supercar spotter, I like seeing cars on the road to see how they look, and it's the one car that I've never seen on the road. I like to see myself as a driver. I want to be involved in the clutch and the manual stick, and the gated gearbox in that car is honestly the best thing you will ever experience. I think the best moments of driving that car was one, when the Armitrix exhaust got fitted onto it. I think most people know that it's one of the loudest systems for that car, but changing from a stock exhaust system to the Armitrix, it just transformed the car. I felt like I was driving a proper supercar. It felt faster just because of the noise. That's probably a real highlight for me, but doing the journeys and attending car meets and just seeing how many people recognise me and the car for what I film and the content that I create is a real sort of buzz. And I do get overwhelmed pretty much every time I go out in that car. The amount of people that know it, the amount of people that put their thumbs up and flash and honk and things like that. It's just crazy to think that there's so much recognition out there for a couple of YouTube videos. Or 900. From a young age, 16, 17 years old, I wasn't following the crowd of borrowing my elder brother's fake ID and going into nightclubs or playing football or going out or just doing what normal teenagers do. I was in London filming, and I always had a passion for cars, and it developed into passion for filming cars and documenting the best cars in London. So it's really my passion that's driven me up to the point of where I am now. So if you've got a passion in something that you really can't shake off, then follow your dreams, follow everything that you sort of are put in front of you, and you will, as long as you put the hours in, like I would probably spent, I don't even know how many hours I've spent in London, but I walked about 10 to 15 miles every day that I went into London. So if you times that by however many times I've been to London, it's a lot of miles, a lot of hours, a lot of money spent, and a lot of times that I've been freezing my arse off in the winter. But overall, it started to pay off. I'm enjoying what I'm doing now. And the only thing that I would say, yeah, is just if you've got a passion for something, follow it, because you never know where it could go. And the way that the internet is going now, it seems that anyone can create a YouTube channel out of something that they enjoy doing. For the last 5 years, Supercars of London has been a real journey, and I think that journey is really just beginning. And I think the older I get, the more experienced I get, and the better I get in terms of being on camera and editing is just all going to be really positive things for the channel and for everything that I do. So here is my post on the Car Throttle website. Ask me anything. Number 1, Alex Kirsten, what supercar is on your shopping list next? Lamborghini Murcielago LP640 or Ferrari 458 or the new Audi R8 V10 Plus or the new McLaren 570S? From Ethan, how do you get your hair so perfect? It actually takes me about 5 minutes to do my hair. It doesn't take long at all. I normally just get out of bed and just go to work like that. Half bed hair, half hairspray and hair wax.